worst part of getting married to a guy like this is the last name. I have at least 19 letters in my last name now.
One thing about being married young is there are more unique struggles than, I guess, getting married older. So today I am introducing our video.
For the first time?
For the first time I was allowed to do this.
You're not allowed. Shut up. You're lying now.
Anyway.
You know that?
Whatever. So in today's edition, we're going to be talking about...
getting married young. I just wanted to say something because you kept talking and talking. I didn't even get a word in.
So that's how now you know how to feel.
Yes, so we'll be talking about getting married young. As you guys know, I'm 23 and he's 27. But when we got married, we were 22 and 26, so a year ago. And we just want to share our most memorable moments, our hardest moments, and possibly give you some advice if you're planning to go down the same route. And yeah, so we'll get right into it. Okay, so this is pretty much my experience in a class setting or in a work setting, because we live together, and most of the days when I go home or come home, he's the only one I see, so I talk about Simas a lot. So I will be like, my husband this, my husband that, and then people look back at me like, you're married? You're 12 years old. I would look back and no, I'm actually 22, and by my standards, that's pretty grown. So...
Alright.
What?
Okay.
I'm a grown woman.
Yes,
so for me, I feel like I'm a very mature person, and that hence marriage didn't really come as a restriction for me. It was more of an even more growing up event, if you would call it. It was more something that made me more mature and more responsible, I think. So for me, I like it. It's fine. It didn't really change from much when we were in a relationship, just because we were living together before. So
different experiences in the marriage. Well, I'm a little bit older, so for me it's I guess a little bit less weird, because I got married at 26, which is young but not extremely young, as opposed to 22, which is not extremely young but it's pretty damn young, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
But you're my teenage love affair.
Bruh.
What?
You were 19 for a month when I met you.
You were still my teenage love affair.
Get off of me.
Teenage love affair. You don't know that song?
No.
Alicia Keys? Alright, no.
Anyway. That's Alicia Keys?
Yeah.
No. Anyway, once again. So for me, I guess everybody knew I was in a relationship, and then one day all of a sudden, because I didn't make a big announcement at work that this is gonna happen, I just took a day off. I feel it's nobody's business really, but my close coworkers know about it.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at me my own boss is oh my god, you're so young, you're born in the 90s. Oh no, 90s, I was in university then. Yeah. So we have a lot of back and forth and jokes about that, but nothing negative at all. So it's only been positive, and from our own relationship perspective, it definitely brought us closer. Even though the day we got married, we got up together, we got dressed up together.
Yeah, we didn't do that whole separation of boy and girl. Simas literally took the day off from work. It was a Friday.
Yep.
And we got dressed here. I think I even bought the bow tie for him the day before, and
I bought it myself.
You bought it?
Yeah. I went to H&M by my job, and I just went and got it, and then her dress got lost in the mail.
Right, and I had to buy another dress.
So you have to buy a last minute, because let's put some context on this for you guys. There was only a few people that actually came to our wedding, So that would be our parents and my friend and his girlfriend.
We got married in Manhattan, so it was more like
we can't drive
go
there, so
to the chapel type of thing. Not a chapel, it's
City
like
Hall.
City Hall, yeah. So we didn't have a real wedding yet, like a big thing where you invite like your entire dad's extension of the family and your mom's extension. So we are probably actually going to have that, most likely, but we are thinking of doing it in one of our home countries,
or
right?
both.
Or both. So we're probably gonna end up having 2 weddings.
Because it's gonna be really difficult to get the Jamaicans over to Europe or the Europeans over to Jamaica. Like we have to figure something out.
Or
so,
we could just meet here because it's like halfway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
I don't know. I was trying to say, like, don't believe what you hear when people say that when you get married, your life is gonna change drastically. If you guys were like living together before and stuff, how could it change? You already know this person, unless they start showing their real colors after the marriage.
right.
In that case, Simas has no colors, so.
I'm kind of white, honestly, but no. One thing about being married young is there are more unique struggles than, I guess, getting married older. One of those struggles would be like us. We're both in school and I'm working and we don't really have that much time to ourselves. So like the time that we do have together is really precious and valuable. But like we can't just say like, hey, let's both take off and go to vacation somewhere. Like we gotta plan ahead to see like when is gonna be a break, when I can take off work, when the cheaper flights are gonna be, or like something like that. Like we gotta always pre-plan and like we can't just be like, yo, let's go to like Hawaii for the weekend or something. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but sometimes like Simas tricks me and he'll like look at my school schedule and know when I'm gonna be on holiday before I do, and then book tickets and like, oh, we're going somewhere, which is great. But
we've done that a couple of times.
But yeah, for me, struggle in marriage. The biggest struggle is that I feel like I don't have enough time for Simas sometimes, because I would like to cook more. I would like to like cater to him more, but I'm always having to study. Like I have to study so much because of my major. My major is really tough. I'm in science, and anyone in science, you guys know that this is not easy. So yeah, so I feel like I wish I could give more. That's just my the hard part for me.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we both know that like any marriage and relationship, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. And those are like our sacrifices for now, because we know that like in a year, maybe 2 years, like those struggles that we have now are not really gonna exist anymore. Obviously there's gonna be new problems, right? But like the fact that we're not gonna have to come home and spend time studying. Alright. So we're gonna have a lot more time to dedicate to each other and like do stuff like cook together maybe, or like have dinner ready, as opposed to having your mom and cooking us 3 huge pots yesterday and leaving it for us, on top of my mom giving us like food. 2 dishes, so like we have food now. So
yeah, that's another thing. Our parents are really like instrumental in our relationship, because they help us so much. Like my mom literally came over yesterday and she made rice and peas, she made the soup, she made porridge, just so that we could have something to eat. And when we're leaving Simas' house, they stack us with food. Like,
it's not just something to eat, that food is
Simas is so fat, and the fact that she made so much food, we were just there wondering what to eat first. So.
That's, I guess, the benefit of getting married young, because our parents still think we're kids.
Yeah.
But that's probably never gonna change.
We're gonna talk about the best parts of getting married, and in general, getting married young and getting married in general. So for me, the best part is I have somebody that when I come home, no matter how annoying I am, and no matter how much I want to complain about school or about work, no matter how much times I break down or cry, like I cry on Simas almost every day 1 week in the foyer. Like
as soon as I get in, my shirt is covered in tears, snot, everything on it.
And it's really nice to have somebody that you know you could rely on no matter what. even if he's having a rough day, he pushes it aside, and his focus is just me, which kind of probably is selfish if you think about it, but he is really, really, really great, and I really appreciate you. I love you. Yeah, so that's my best part.
No, I mean, for me it's the same because we both have rough days sometimes, and like you always, like, for us we don't really have to wonder where the other person is. Like you just, I know your schedule.
Shots fired.
I'm just saying, like, if you're not answering your phone because you tend not to do that a lot, I can pretty much have an idea where you are anyway because you're probably in school, or you're probably studying, or your phone is dead.
Yeah.
Well, me, I have a desk job, so my phone is by me, so I don't really pay much attention to it, but I can usually like take a text or a call if it's necessary. So we can stay in touch, and at the end of the day, I come home and you're usually here, or at the end of the day, you come home and I'm usually here. So it's like some things that we have in our relationship that we take for granted, like our family's not worrying about us, we have like a good relationship and we trust each other and all that. Like a lot of people that don't have that, and for us it's just we never really have to worry about it much.
If you're planning to get married young, because we did it, we know it, and we went through it. I know that 22 and 26 is not the youngest age to get married. I know of people who were married at 18 or probably even 16 back in the day, because it wasn't even unheard of. But one thing I'd like to say, if you're planning to do this, ensure that the person is the correct person. So if you notice that that individual has like change of attitude, change of mood, and it's really bad, probably you don't want to think about getting married to them. No, that's different. I'm bipolar. Yeah, so yeah. And also, always try to have fun, I think. Fun is very relevant. Because you can't, like, just work, or go to school, and just, like, not sit back one day and just enjoy each other, because you're going to get lost in that relationship, and you're going to feel like you don't even know the person.
I think time management is key. Like, you can't waste a minute of your time, especially when, like, as young and as busy as we are. We gotta make sure that, like, nothing is wasted, and we're just, laying around together, of course, that's...
Yeah, do cuddling. Cuddling is fun. I like cuddling. Especially on Saturdays when it's raining. Oh my god, it's like the best feeling in the world. Also, travel if you can. Because, like,
even
having a checklist with your partner, I feel like is really good, because you guys both have something that you're looking forward to. Like for us, the channel is like something that we both enjoy together, and it's something that we both look forward to do every Friday. Even though sometimes we're tired. It's
like our project that we work on together, so it's like we have such different backgrounds in different fields of like work and study and everything, but this is like where we really can come together and like show off our creative sides. So let us know what you guys think. If you were in a similar situation and you got married young, or you got together with somebody young and you still didn't get married but you pretty much are, everybody is different, so we want to hear how your experience is. Or if you're not interested in it, hey, let us know too.
Alright guys, so we are gonna say bye-bye. And we'll see you again in another vlog.